Hi, I'm Lisa Redfern. This is Gingersnap, episode 71. Conversation and a Cookie with a Creative Mainer. And I'm here with Paddy Mills in his home in Brunswick. And Paddy is an award-winning singer-songwriter. He's usually has a lot of stuff going on, but I'm going to let him tell you more about that. Hi, Paddy. Welcome.
Hey, Lisa. Thanks.
You're welcome. What's going on? Sure, now be withholding.
You can probably hear what's going on in the background.
Yeah, there's like 18 children.
Just babies everywhere. They just keep coming. I don't really know where they come from. I'm gonna figure out what's causing that and put an end to it.
You should tell other people. Here's the secret. So what's going on with your music right now?
I'm not traveling a lot, and I'm staying at home, and I'm hanging out with babies, and I'm
that's good.
Writing songs and sort of doing the creative fun part of being a musician.
Yeah,
getting to stay home and write, and eventually I'll go back out into the world again and share some of that stuff. But
well, it's kind of like this. There's like the fallow time, and then the really active time, and then the fallow time.
Yeah. I like to think of it as, I've been out on tour this whole time, and the tour bus, and like things have been crazy, and the parties, and and now I'm on like the creative end of the cycle, and not just bringing kids to soccer. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, it's all good. There's room for all of it, right?
There is.
It's nice to know that you have 18 children, and that you also I'm kidding, and that you also have time for your music, and you have you're living in a way that supports that. I think that's really wonderful.
Yeah, and it's all it's all about balance. It's like life is more fun when you do a bunch of different things and have a lot of balance. Like I find that when I'm out playing, it's like road food gets pretty bad after a while, and other people's couches get pretty uncomfortable. Yeah. So so it's nice to not do that all the time, because it's in a lot of ways awful.
All right, Paddy, when did you first come to Maine? Are you a true Mainer?
I'm a Mainer. My people came here in the 1600s. We've been here forever. Lighthouse keepers and fishermen and sailors and that whole...
The real deal.
That whole thing. So, forever and ever.
So what I like to also ask, what keeps you in Maine? I mean, let's say you were pulled away to some other place, but what you decide to stay in Maine. I think people also decide to stay
the outside world is scary.
He's agoraphobic. You heard it here.
It's awesome here. It's the seasons and the ocean and the population density and just like the pace of life, and I love everything about being here. And there's lots of other places I've gone to and thought I could live here for a little while. But this is the only place for.
There's a strong pull. Yeah, there's a strong pull. All right, Paddy, do you know your first word? And if you don't, what do you think it may have been?
I don't know my first word. But I'm gonna guess that maybe it was it was existentialism.
Oh, wow, smarty pants there. I knew it.
I think it was cookie.
That was my first word.
What? No.
Well, you've heard of this before. Okay, anyway, my first word was cookie. And these are, no nuts, these are
I'm allergic
raspberry macaroons. Cranberry or raspberry mac. Are you allergic to, the macaroon?
I hate cranberries.
What?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god. I didn't think you'd be so high maintenance. Okay. These are from... Are you afraid? You don't like macaroon?
Oh, no, I do. I love cranberries.
I can't remember if it's cranberry or raspberry, to be honest. I think I have to... It's raspberry.
I think it's a raspberry.
It's raspberry. These are from Wild Oats in Brunswick.
Oh, yeah.
And I discovered them recently. Oh my gosh. So good. And they're gluten-free. And you know, I'm not supposed to have gluten, but I didn't know that when I started a conversation at a cookie with a creative Mainer. So I'm like, I can have a cookie twice a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like gluten.
Well, everyone
I'm
likes
kind of
gluten.
big on gluten, actually. That's kind of my thing.
But my body doesn't like it anymore. Anyway, did you you seem like someone who would have had a cool car, like when you were growing up, or maybe as a teenager? Am I wrong?
I had a pretty cool car.
Okay.
No, it wasn't cool at all, actually. I mean, it was cool in that, like, Wayne's World Mirthmobile Garth car.
Okay, we'll go with that. What was it?
It was a Dodge Colt, which was this little subcompact car, and it was bright blue and covered and bubbly and covered with bumper stickers. And
was it related to the Pinto? That was not a cool car.
It was similar.
Pinto.
It was similar. It was fast. It was
Fast is good.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't fast.
Not at all. No. I thought it was.
Lies.
Yeah. Dodge Colt.
Okay, so if you could have any car right now that you're sort of nostalgic about, it wouldn't be that one. It would be something else.
No.
Oh, you're right.
It wouldn't be that.
Okay. So I imagine because you're a songwriter, I'm reading into this literally, that you're a reader, and that you must love books. But it's okay if you're not a big reader, because here's how I'm going to ask this: do you have a book that you have read, or a couple in your life that you find yourself recommending to friends?
Yeah, I was an English major, actually.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Even Judd had that in common. Hey, Judd, right around the corner.
Books that I love and recommend to people are, my very favorite book is One Man's Meat by E.B. White, which is a collection of essays that he wrote for The New Yorker, which is really fantastic. That's my favorite book.
I should reread that.
Yeah,
I read that in grad school.
Yeah, and I read there's a little Steinbeck book called The Moon Is Down that
I don't know that.
Often pass around to people. Yeah, and I'm just finishing rereading East of Eden, Steinbeck right now.
I think Grapes of Wrath is my right up there with my top 10 books and movies. Actually.
I'm always telling people to reread Grapes of Wrath. Kind of like the books that you had to read when you were younger, and they were so awful when you were a sophomore in high school. Are like Grapes of Wrath. I remember reading it as a sophomore, and I was like, "This is the dullest thing I've ever read." Oh my god! And now it's one of my favorite books. And actually, the opposite of that. I remember being 18 and thinking that On the Road was the most brilliant,
Jack Kerouac.
Yeah, brilliant thing I'd ever read, and now I go back to try to revisit it, and I'm like, what's wrong with this guy?
It's hogwash.
Anyway, your perspective changes.
It totally does
as you go through life, and books, your view of books changes as you go.
I think Grapes of Wrath is a great book and or movie for young people to read right now. Not to be too,
Yeah, it fits in right now.
Isn't it?
The world. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so on to music. Are there a couple albums that were sort of leitmotifs in your life that you came back to again and again?
Yeah. Hundreds.
Actually. I know.
Astral Weeks, Van Morrison is the big one for me. That and Greg Brown's Alive one. Those are my two big.
Those are very different, but really good.
Yeah. I love the Greg Brown live album. I just love his live albums because it's what he does. Like so often, I'll go see a songwriter and buy a CD and bring the CD home, and it's like I loved what they were doing live so much that I bought a CD, and then I get home and I'm just like, oh, you were a really big Toto fan. I can hear that in your production.
But you wouldn't have heard that live.
Yeah. And I just wish that it was just a live album or an album of just them and their guitar, or what it is that they were actually doing live.
Right. It's it's a different animal. It's even a different art form. It feels like the live versus the studio. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. If a movie was made about Paddy Mills's life. Paddy Mills's life. Hey! It went dark. Oh, but not for them. Just for us. This is Technology Tuesday. Yeah, if a movie was made about your life, what genre would it be, and who would star as you?
Well, Shatner, first of all.
I just lost 5 of my cookies. Are you kidding me?
No way, definitely Shatner.
Oh,
Shatner.
really?
Yeah.
That is
Yes.
hilarious and
Yes.
disturbing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he still
Yeah, Shatner's
alive? Oh, hey,
still
Bill.
alive. He is, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it would be Shatner, and
Okay.
it would probably be a musical.
See,
But
that's a terrible combination. Because didn't he try and do an album of singing or reading?
I think
He
did.
sang
Yeah.
poetry or something, and it was awful.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it would have to be a musical to sort of like to cover up for the fact that there's like no plot to my life. So you distract it with some big numbers, you know? Big dance numbers.
Oh my god. I gotta remember now, are you not eating your cookie? I'm the only
It's here,
one.
I'm eating.
Okay. I'm the only one chomping away here and in the interview. It's so good. But I do love a macaroon. Anyway, well, wait, what? Okay, who do you think they cast as you? Is what I'd like to ask too. Because there's some English actor I have in mind, and I cannot think who it is.
Steven Seagal.
Did he do a lot of action adventure?
Yeah, I'd be an
Okay.
action guy.
Okay.
Or Dolph Lundgren, or Stallone, maybe,
Stallone.
when he was younger.
Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, he's kind of short, so maybe not. I don't know.
They make him look tall.
It wouldn't be Tom Cruise. I'd have to put him on stilts.
I heard that he gets put up on things when he's talking to a leading woman, you know,
I've
and
heard
he
that
has to stand on a box. It's like, it's okay, Tom.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Paddy, if someone wants to reach you to have you to get in touch with you to play or to buy your CDs, they can go to your website, which is
PaddyMills.com.
oh, that's hard to remember.
Yeah. You just write it down on the back of your hand with a Sharpie.
PaddyMills.com.
PaddyMills.com. With D's. Paddy with D's.
Okay.
B-A-D-D.
All right. So, is there anything else you want to tell people out there in Gingersnap land? as if there is such a place.
Macaroons are awesome.
Yeah. Good. All right. You've been Gingersnapped. How do you feel?
I feel...
You feel different?
I feel different. Like it's a whole new... It's a whole new world now. I feel...
You're going to have a different singing voice.
Everything's changed. I'm a soprano now.
Oh my goodness. I only had a little bit of that beer.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. You don't really tune in. You just watch it on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. This is Gingersnap, episode 71, with Paddy Mills. And get in touch with him. He's got some great CDs, and he'll be playing live soon. And if you want to know more about me or my music, go to LisaRedfern.com. And that's all I got right now. We'll see you in a couple weeks again. Here we go. You can sing it with me if you want to. This has been Gingersnap.